We'll start out by introducing economic surplus, which is a measure of efficiency within a market. So when we measure surplus, we're measuring the value of market transactions to different groups and to society as a whole. The two primary groups we have within our market now are consumers and producers. So we'll measure consumer surplus and producer surplus, and combined, that represents the total surplus or the total value of market transactions to everyone in society. Consumer surplus is the value of a market transaction or the sum of all market transactions to consumers. So we want to add up the difference between the consumer's reservation price, which remember is based on the consumer's value of the product or their utility from consuming the product, minus the price they actually paid. Now, we all kind of innately understand the idea of a consumer's reservation price. You imagine that you're in a shop and you see a shirt that is really cool and you want to buy it, but it doesn't have a price tag. You take it to the register and the shirt is $30, $20. Maybe you're happy. You're excited. You got a new shirt. If the shirt is $300, then you might reconsider. For all of us, for everything we consume, there's some price above which we're just not going to pay it because the value of the product to us is not higher than that price. So the consumer's reservation price, the highest price the consumer is willing to pay for the product, reflects the value or the utility that they receive from consuming the product. That's what we represent when we draw the demand curve. So by taking the difference between the value to the consumer and the price they actually pay, we measure their surplus, their happiness from getting a deal, buying something that's valuable to them at a low price. Producer surplus, on the other hand, is the difference between the market price. Of course, the price is good for producers because that's the amount of money they get from selling the product, right? That's their revenue. And their reservation price, the lowest price that they would be willing to sell the product for, which reflects production costs. And we represent the producer's reservation price using the supply curve. So of course, producers are happy obtaining higher market prices, and their surplus is the difference between the amount of money they get and the cost of producing the product. So it's something akin to profit. We'll talk about profit in more detail later on, but that's how we'll calculate producer surplus for now. Together, consumer surplus and producer surplus comprise total surplus, the total benefit of market transactions to everyone in society.